Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. So I'm making this episode using my microphone. Today I managed to charge it, and we're going to rock with it. Hopefully the sound is much clearer. We're trying to improve the quality of the sound. There's a lot of things that I do not like when I listen back to my podcasts, but I get a lot of feedback from people saying that they listen to it and it has changed their lives. And it's been absolutely amazing. And I love your feedback, and I love the questions that you're also putting up as well in terms of the content that we should make for you guys. And if you want to ask a question or you want some piece of content or a question answered, go to thriving_tribesmen in the Instagram. And if you follow us on there, you can ask the question and then I will make an episode about it. So again, it gives you that sort of momentum, especially in the specific area that you want momentum on. So again, it fills me with so much joy every time I make an episode. I know I also get negative feedback, and I accept negative feedback as well. So if you've got something negative to say, to be, thriving underscore tribesmen, you go over there and you say what you need to say, and I'll accept anything that is negative. As long as it's not something that is just you. Putting out your shame out there because you're feeling pain and you want me to feel pain, which is perfectly fine if you want to use me as a punching bag, because that's how most people are. So again, all things welcome in my world, because again, this is going to tie into something I'm going to be talking about today, where that whenever people externally present challenges, generally to those challenges, like somebody saying something negative about you, it should bring up some insecurity. And that's the reason why they say they want you to alter your state in order for you to react. And you react by, then really you react because of your negative insecurities that are already inside you. So for example, if somebody said, you're talking rubbish because you don't know what you're doing, if it would sort of feed back to the time when I was young and somebody tried to make me read when I was dyslexic, and then the teacher sort of laughed at me, and then which gave license to everybody in the whole classroom to laugh at me. And then for many years I was tormented by children because I couldn't read. I didn't know that what dyslexia was at the time, but I was suffering with dyslexia, and for those years I actually believed I was dumb. So yeah, absolutely crazy. And when somebody says a negative feedback, it taps into that, and it can be destabilizing. So that insecurity comes up, and then I have to deal with it, which has been absolute blessing, because now I see those as opportunities to work on my insecurities. So when somebody says something negative, while sometimes it can be triggering, but it gives me an opportunity to then work on it. And again, this is an important piece when it comes to relationships, because a lot of you guys, when you get rejected, it causes this visceral thing that is connected to something that has happened in your past. So, and I know some of you guys have got this vivid memory when the first time when you approached a girl and you were naive and you felt like maybe you had this real chance, and I don't know what would have what you believed, and a lot of you guys would have believed something that you saw in Disney, because you've got this prince who sees the princess, and then all of a sudden they meet there, and then they become boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife, and then they live happily ever after. And you got this real sequence, and you have this naive approach to it, and just like animals, your approach can eke the girl. And again, obviously, depending on how old you were when you approached, when you first got rejected, it created a negative feeling that then traumatized you from that. And again, some of it is not to do with the boyfriend girlfriend relationships. It could be the fact that your mom rejected you. It could be that your relatives rejected you, your dad rejected you, and that has got a visceral. It's got a you got this negative feeling that comes up whenever you feel rejected. And again, the one thing that makes people not progress within a sexless relationship, in fact, if there's one thing that most women struggle with, is when men implode because they've been rejected. Because again, when it comes to rejection, when somebody says rejecting your advances, 9 times out of 10 says rejecting your advance, she's not rejecting you specifically. And because you implode, it gives a negative association with seduction and sex, and therefore she never wants to go there again because on the off chance that she doesn't want to do, she's giving you a maybe, you take it as though it's a rejection, and then you sort of implode, and then it never goes at you because you've imploded. And a lot of that implosion is directly connected to something else that has happened in your past. So it's a very weird situation that when those negative situations come up, especially when you get rejected, it's an opportunity to look at, okay, why do I feel so rejected? Why do I feel so invested into this particular moment for us to have sex? And why is it that I'm imploding? Because your relationship is not defined by how many times you have sex. And if you do, and your total self worth is tied into that, it is a terrible metric for what the relationship should be. It's a terrible way of expecting the relationship for success in terms of what measure, how you measure the relationship success, and what should be a measure for a relationship of success. Generally, and I think this is it's probably something that is going to be new for you, is that you have to measure on how you approach challenges. In fact, uh, I've got this image of that challenges are always floating around you. They're always orbiting around your relationship, whether it's money, whether it's the children acting up, whether it's your boss, whether it's her boss, whether it's um, the fact that often you're not having sex. All these are challenges that are orbiting around you. And every time it falls in onto your lap or falls for you guys to deal with, it conjures up all these negative feelings, and then you have to approach it and you have to deal with it. And when it's not dealt with, in fact, most people don't deal with them because they try and manipulate their way into reducing those insecurities, or you fight through those insecurities, or you make them even worse because you implode, you don't confront it. Um, Generally, this is how we react to these sort of situations, and it makes the whole sexless situation even worse. Whereas if you take the approach of, like I said, um, generally when people say a negative statement online about what I'm saying and my content, uh, while it was very triggering for me, I would then sort of not make an episode, or I would then go and then watch, silly videos, and really start procrastinating when it comes to really making content. And I'll do everything to escape making content. And that one comment would be one comment out of, 50 other good comments. And I would focus on this one thing that is causing the issue. And again, when it comes to your relationship, you have to consider it that this one rejection, and again when I say rejection, this one maybe that you've considered to be rejection is probably not as bad as you actually make it out. It's just the fact that it's tapping into your insecurity that you need to deal with. When you deal with that, 9 times out of 10 you're actually going to change the sexless relationship. So I'm not going to go any further with this. Hopefully that's something that is tied into where you are, you guys, right now, especially if you're facing consistent rejection. It's something that it's an opportunity to see what insecurities are coming up and how are they tied to your past. Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Is it a girl that you once approached and they made you look silly? Is there an embarrassing story about you actually approaching somebody? Is there something that happened that is stopping you, that has made you feel ashamed about yourself and you being interacting with other people? So whenever you feel rejected, you're connected to that and you implode because of that. And because again, there's a part of you that's, this is now me speaking from my personal experience. There's this feeling where I felt that because people called me idiot and stupid and dumb and thick and all those things, I believed that. And because I believed it, whenever somebody says it, uh, it just takes me back to that place where I think I am that. And whenever you feel rejected and you feel worthless, somebody told you that you're worthless, somebody told you you're hopeless, somebody told you that you were something, and you connected to that. You're still connected to it. And every time when it happens, you either go out and escape, or whether you watch porn, whatever you're doing, whenever you feel rejected, whenever you're communicating with a partner, whatever you're doing, you need to stop that and really start figuring out why is it that you're feeling this way, what is it connected to, and start making amends with that, and then get better at it. Because now when I see a negative comment, I do still feel some type of way about it, but at the same time I know that that's an insecurity that I now have a handle on. I don't think I would ever heal it. I don't think it's ever going to go away. It's going to be something that I'm going to deal with for the rest of my life. That whenever it comes up, I know what it is, and then I let it subside. So almost like a, when the wave hits the beach and then it sort of goes away, similar to that. Just it comes in and then it goes out. So hopefully that's something that's going to be motivational for you guys, and it's been something that has been motivational for me, that I've used in my relationship, and it's worked amazing in order to move us from sexless to sexual success. So thank you very much, guys, for listening. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.